Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, they all have this common belief that there is continuous conflict between truth and falsehood, but that there will come a final triumph of truth over falsehood, and that final triumph of truth over falsehood would herald the end of history. We turn now to modern Western civilization and their view concerning the movement of history and the end of history. What conception do they have of the movement of history? What is their conception of truth? And what is their differing conceptions of the end of history? I tell you, this is a truly fascinating subject. This is the civilization which has an obsession with the Holy Land. They may not say it, but they also believe that history is going to end with events which will unfold in the Holy Land, as the Christians do, as the Jews do. Modern Western civilization has displayed its obsession with the Holy Land in many instances in history. Is modern Western civilization? What is its conception of the movement of history? What is its conception of the end of history? Modern Western civilization, and I have studied it for a long time, is an amazing phenomenon in history. It is unique. No civilization in history ever was like this. It is the first time in history that a civilization has emerged like this. For example, it is the first civilization in history which has been able to acquire that power to dominate the whole world in such a way that the entire rest of the world combined cannot threaten its power. That never happened before in history. Where did they get that power from? They got it from an amazing scientific and technological revolution, which is still unfolding. Many more amazing things to come that will dazzle you. And the emergence of this modern scientific and technological revolution cannot be explained from the analysis of historical phenomena. No, it is an absolutely unique event in human history. Modern Western civilization uses that unprecedented power to oppress. It is one of the greatest oppressors that history has ever seen. Modern Western civilization is also decadent to its very core. It is a civilization that is rotting at its very core. while yet at its periphery it glitters like gold. Modern Western civilization, which has this awesome and unprecedented power, which is oppressing mankind, modern Western civilization, which is also decadent to its very core, also is a civilization with amazing powers of deception. Appearance and reality are always different from each other in all that pertains to this civilization. It is a civilization with a mission in the world. We used to hear it in the days of colonialism. This is called in international relations called jingoism. That we have a mission to civilize mankind. And this mission took them not only to colonize the rest of the world, that's bad enough, but that didn't end the story. When they colonize a part of the world, they do not leave, they do not decolonize until and unless they have put in place institutions which will ensure that that society will continue to be ruled by them, by property. And in the process, they seek to transform the rest of mankind into carbon copies of themselves. This never happened before in history. If I do not seek to understand what's happening here, then I've got peanuts in my head. When will I wake up? When will I begin to think? When will the world have more to me than McDonald's hamburgers? What's happening here?
You don't know. Don't tell me Negro, that's nothing. What were you before the white man named you a Negro? And where were you? And what did you have? What was yours? What language did you speak then? What was your name? It couldn't have been Smith or Jones or Bunch or Powell. That wasn't your name. They don't have those kind of names where you and I came from. No, what was your name? And why don't you now know what your name was then? Where did it go? Where did you lose it? Who took it? And how did he take it? What tongue did you speak? How did the man take your tongue? Where is your history? How did the man wipe out your history? How did the man, what did the man do to make you as dumb as you are right now?
Their obsession is to transform the rest of the world into carbon copies of themselves. This never happened before in history. If I do not seek to understand what's happening here, then I've got peanuts in my head.
Because if you're a believer, you can never justify war. You can never justify war. You can never justify colonialism or neo-colonialism or imperialism. You can't justify that. And I'm going to tell you, Latin America and the School of the Americas and the United States role is only a small slice of the pie. For what they do in Latin America is being done in Africa, and what is being done in Africa is being done in the Middle East, and what is being done in the Middle East is being done in Asia. So we're standing up for the dignity of of the world and for the freedom of the world. And people of conscience need to stand up and speak with more power and be more fervent and be vibrant in what you have to say and witness it in season and out of season, no matter what the polls say, no matter who is in Congress, no matter who is in the White House. Speak and preach and teach and organize until justice prevails. God bless you.
It is one of the greatest oppressors of history.
But we don't have to be Western to be modern.
Bestialidad que no tiene una frontera determinada ni pertenece a un país determinado. Bestias fueron las hordas hitleristas, como bestias son los norteamericanos hoy, como bestias son los paracaidistas belgas, como bestias fueron los imperialistas franceses en Argelia. Que no se puede confiar en el imperialismo, pero ni tan.
Finally, there's something very curious about modern Western civilization. I consider it to be the most important thing of all. What is it? It appears to be a civilization that is essentially godless. It appears to be a civilization that is committed to materialism. It is a civilization which is constantly attacking religion and the religious way of life. And as a consequence of that war on religion, religion is in a state of decline around the world today. Yet, the reality is that modern Western civilization has come into being as a consequence of a reconciliation, a curious reconciliation, a rapprochement between some Christians and some Jews. And yet strangely, mysteriously, mystifyingly, in modern Western civilization, the world has witnessed for the first time and for the only time Jewish-Christian friendship and alliance. So this is not really a godless civilization. It appears to be.
I used to say early on when I was a kid, I'd say, when I was a young senator, I'd say, if I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
So what brings you to Christians United for Israel?
Well, I was in on the ground floor. I worked with John and Diana Hagee for many, many years on many different projects.
And how much of an inspiration is the Second Coming in your support for Israel?
Obviously, it's what I live for.
Really?
And I hope it comes tomorrow.
And God is doing a miraculous thing as now millions of Christians in the United States of America have rallied to the cause of Israel under Christians United for Israel, and we go to Washington once each year to give testimony to our congressmen and senators that we're Christians and that we're from your district and we vote for you or against you based on your support or lack thereof of the state of Israel.
Therefore, it is time for America to embrace the words of Senator Joseph Lieberman and consider a military preemptive strike against Iran to prevent a nuclear holocaust in Israel and a nuclear attack on Iran.
I have a deep sympathy for the Jewish people, and I think as Christians we owe them a deep apology for the incredible suffering that we've caused them over the centuries, and that would apply also to Islam. I think that what they have gone through, and not least in the latter years under the Nazi Holocaust, I think is absolutely appalling, and the world did not help. So the modern state of Israel is almost a survival mechanism. I can understand why people who have been rejected by the world and treated like that should want a place of their own. Where I have a problem, though, is when Christians use the Bible to say that what's happening in Israel is a fulfillment of prophecy. Because when I was in Israel, what I found was a largely secular state. When you look at the way it operates vis-a-vis the Palestinians, you have to say it's founded on injustice and unrighteousness and cruelty. Now, if you're going to call that the fulfillment of prophecy, it has to be founded on righteousness.
What do we make of this? If that was the end of the story, that is already strange enough, but there's more to come. Modern Western civilization has witnessed not only this Jewish-Christian reconciliation and alliance, but more than that. This is the civilization which has an obsession with the Holy Land. But they also believe that history is going to end with events which will unfold in the Holy Land, as the Christians do, as the Jews do. Modern Western civilization has displayed its obsession with the Holy Land in many instances in history. How do we explain, for example, Britain, a secular state? 1917. And the British government issued the Balfour Declaration. What does it say? That the British government will work for the establishment of a Jewish national rule in the Holy Land. That false Messiah, in order to impersonate the true Messiah, must rule the world from Jerusalem, from a state of Israel. It is modern Western civilization which presided over the return of the Jews to the Holy Land. Without the modern West, they could not have done it. It is modern Western civilization which created the state of Israel. The European people did it, not the Oriental Jews. When Britain acted as the midwife for the state of Israel to be born in 1948, I believe it was 11 minutes later that the United States recognized Israel.
The Messenger of Allah, Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, informed us of the release of Dajjal into the world during his lifetime. He went on to say that when Dajjal is released into the world, he would live on earth for 40 days. One day like a year, one day like a month, one day like a week, and the rest of his days like your days. The analysis conducted in this book is such that it argues that when Dajjal was in a day which is like a year, Britain was his headquarters. And when Dajjal moved to a day which is like a month, the United States of America became his headquarters. And finally, when Dajjal is going to be in a day which is like a week, he comes back home to the Holy Land. He comes back home to the Holy Land.
I've been saying to my audiences, if the Holy Land was liberated by a British army in November 1917, and that was just a chance military event, it happened by chance. If British rule over the Holy Land from 1918 to 1948 was just by chance. If the return of the Israelite people to the Holy Land 2,000 years after they had been expelled, and 2,000 years after they had been prohibited to return and they're back, to reclaim it as their own, if this is also by chance, if the birth of a state of Israel in 1948 in the Holy Land is also by chance, and if the growth of Israel to such a state of power that Israel appears to me, and of course only God doesn't make mistakes, Bishop, appears to me to be poised to take over from the United States very soon as the ruling state in the world. If all of these things can happen by chance, then, Bishop, the cow can also jump over the moon.
Not only has there been this curious relationship between Britain and the United States, Britain and the Holy Land and Israel, which you cannot explain with normal tools of political analysis, but also with the United States and Israel. Which political scientist there is in the world today who can offer a rational explanation for the curious relationship that exists between the United States and Israel? And modern Western civilization has armed Israel. Transfer of technology, transfer of military technology, massive economic aid, massive financial aid, to the extent that Israel is now a superpower. And to the extent that Israel is now poised to take over from the United States as the ruling state in the world. Modern Western civilization has an unwritten conception of the end of history, which is connected with the Holy Land. There is an actor at work in modern Western civilization, which is constantly using modern Western civilization to achieve his objective. There is an actor at work in modern Western civilization. There is an actor at work. I recognize that actor to be the false Messiah, Dajjal.